We just been married for 6 months when my husband brought his 55-year-old freshly retired mom to live with us. He said he wanted to be a good son and take care of her, so I thought, I can't fall behind. So I went back home and brought my 88-year-old grandma over too. My husband wasn't happy at all. "Why didn't you talk to me first? Your grandma's so old," he said. "Isn't it super inconvenient for her to live with us?" I said, "I never said your mom was inconvenient. How can you complain about my grandma?" We'd been married half a year. The honeymoon phase was pretty much over when one day I came home from work. I saw my mother-in-law in the living room with a ton of bags piled on the floor, unpacking. I was stunned. "Mom," I asked, "why didn't you tell me you were coming so I could pick you up? Are you here for a little vacation? How many days are you staying? I can even take a few days off to show you around." Just then, my husband, Zhao Yuxuan, walked out of the master bedroom holding his quilt. "What vacation?" he said. "My mom officially retired the day before yesterday. I'm worried she'll get post-retirement depression, so I brought her here to live with us. Oh, and my mom's got bad circulation in her legs. If she sleeps in the guest room, she won't get any sun. It's bad for her health. We're young anyway, so let's give her the master bedroom." "Hold on, this is our marital home. Why didn't you talk to me first? Am I still the lady of this house or not?" He tossed out, "You deal with it," and walked off. I followed him into the small bedroom, quietly closed the door, and stopped his hand from spreading the quilt on that tiny twin bed. "Yuxuan, isn't your dad still back in our hometown? You just bring your mom here like this. What about your dad?" He shook off my hand and kept making the bed. "I don't care," he said. "My parents are always fighting. When my mom was still working, at least they could avoid each other during the day. Now they're both retired. They're stuck staring at each other all day. It drives them crazy. And look, my mom raised me all these years. Now that I'm married, it's my turn to take care of her. Zhou don't tell me you're against this. I married you because I thought you were a filial daughter." Wow. With that one line, he put me right up on the moral high ground. I had nothing to shoot back with. "Didn't your mom say before we got married that she'd never interfere with our life? That she'd let us live as a couple? She said when we have kids, if we need help, she'd come lend a hand. We'd talk about it then. So why is the plan changing now? Especially when we don't even have kids yet?" His face dropped instantly. "Zhou Ning, what's that supposed to mean? My mom's here and you're not happy? She came all this way and brought you tons of local goodies," he said. "And this is your attitude?" Local goodies? He meant all those jars and bottles she just spread all over the floor, pickled vegetables. I tried her pickles once. I almost threw up. I don't like them, and he knows that. So who exactly were those goodies for? But I really didn't want to fight with him right then. I was exhausted after a full day of work. I just wanted to talk less. Plus his mom was already here. You can't just kick her out now. I told myself, let's just see how it goes. Maybe she won't get used to living with us young people anyway. But the second she stepped in, she took over our master bedroom. That place is not her house. When we bought this apartment, my family paid half the down payment. I pointed at that tiny bed and said, "This bed is way too small. It can't fit both of us." Yuxuan lied through his teeth, shoving the half-hanging quilt back on. "Small? It's not small. When I was a kid, the three of us squeezed into a place under 30 square meters and it was fine." I said, "Well, I'm not sleeping in this little room. I've got poor circulation too. If I don't sleep here, I'll just go to the couch." He snapped back, "Suit yourself. No one's begging you to sleep anywhere." I grabbed my quilt. "I'll sleep with Mom in the big room. We can work on our relationship," I said, and opened the door. Behind me, he muttered, "So I'm just supposed to sleep alone?" I ignored him, looked at my mother-in-law still unpacking, and said, "Mom, let's sleep in the master tonight. We can chat like girlfriends." She glanced at Yuxuan behind me and hesitated. "Forget it, I'll sleep in the small room," she said. "Yuxuan's so tall, he won't be comfortable in that little bed." Oh, so she can speak up. Funny how she didn't say a word when her son walked in with his quilt just now. So the real issue is she doesn't want me in the big bed because she thinks her son's losing out. Yuxuan pretended to refuse. "Mom, that's not necessary." I jumped in. "How could that work? Yuxuan said you've got bad legs and that little room faces north. You can't stay in there." She sighed. "It's not that serious, I can manage." But her cheeks were rosy and she walked around fast and steady. She looked perfectly healthy to me. "You're in my home now. There's no way I'm letting you just manage like that. Right, Yuxuan?" Yuxuan's face looked awful, but those were his own words. If he went back on them now, he'd be slapping himself in the face. So that night, I slept in the master bedroom with my mother-in-law, and Yuxuan sulked alone on the tiny bed. She's still worried about her son, though. She went to the small bedroom at least 10 times that night, afraid he wasn't sleeping well. But she couldn't exactly kick me out and let the two of them share the big bed while I slept on the floor. She at least understood that much. By the second half of the night, he was sound asleep, but I was wide awake. Her snoring was like thunder. This mother-son duo is something else. If she plans to stay here long-term, how am I supposed to live? Even if we somehow get along, I can't even sleep. If she really can't stand living with my father-in-law, then they should just live separately. Why should I have to carry the burden of their failed marriage? Besides, when I was dating Yuxuan, I was very clear I wanted my freedom. If I don't want kids early, we don't have kids. His parents promised they'd never interfere with our life, so this is their idea of not interfering? The more I thought about it, the angrier I got. I couldn't just sit and wait for things to get worse. I came up with a great idea. If Yuxuan wants to be filial, then I'll be filial too. I've still got an 88-year-old grandma. And my grandma is a force of nature. She's famous for standing up to nasty mothers-in-law, arguing with ungrateful daughters-in-law, and even putting nosy neighbors in their place. Everyone within 10 miles knows her name. She's 88 and still walks like the wind. She's like an action hero grandma. If I bring her over, this place is definitely going to get interesting. I'd gone to bed way too late, so at 6 the next morning I was jolted awake by noise from the kitchen. My mother-in-law was banging pots and pans. I got up to see what was going on. As soon as I stepped into the living room, I saw Yuxuan with messy bed hair and a dark face scolding me. "My mom's already up and you're still sleeping? Seriously?" "It's barely even morning," I said. "It's finally the weekend and I still have to get up early? I went to bed super late last night." He said, "Now that my mom's here, you have to adjust to her routine. You should be up early making breakfast. Otherwise, how can you just sit there and wait to eat?" I stared at him in disbelief. It had only been 6 months since the wedding. And the second his mom walked in, he turned into a whole different person. "Also, since my mom's living here," he added, "she shouldn't be doing any more tiring chores. From now on, that's on you." "No way," I said, fully awake now. "Forget sleeping in." I grabbed my phone and booked the earliest ticket back to my hometown. "I'm going out for a bit. You two can do whatever you want," I told them. I'd planned to call my grandma first to see how she was doing, but I didn't want to wait anymore. By the time I got back to my hometown, I saw my grandma sitting alone at the gate of the yard, staring into space. I ran over and called, "Grandma! What are you doing sitting out here by yourself?" She lifted her dull eyes and looked at me. "Ning Ning, you're back. Grandma, what's wrong? Are you feeling sick? Do you want me to take you to the hospital?" She jumped up quickly and started stretching right in front of me. "I'm fine, I'm just bored," she said. "My dear granddaughter, you know that grumpy old guy next door who always argued with me? He passed away a few days ago. He was only 80. How can someone just go like that? Life's so fragile. Your third aunt hasn't dared to come by since our last fight. Life's gotten so dull. Anyway," she said, "what brings you back today, Ning Ning? Where's that new husband of yours? Why didn't he come with you? Did he bully you?" "Tell Grandma, I'll stand up for you." I clung to her arm like I did when I was a kid and pouted. "Grandma, no one bullied me. I just missed home. And I missed you. Are you here by yourself?" "My grandma's yard is in our hometown's little town. My third uncle's family lives there with her. My third aunt isn't very kind. She argues with Grandma all the time, but she can't win.